Can any of you help me? I've done some things recently that I wish I could take back. To start, I have OCD. Not the kind where my house has to be spotless, or the kind where you have to do things a certain number of times. My disorder extends entirely to my appearance. I do anything and everything to make sure I look my best. I use the most expensive products I can afford. Plus, I follow a strict diet and exercise plan. All my hard work is paid off, for the most part. I get compliments from people pretty frequently. And I don't mean to brag, but I've been compared to models before. Although the compliments make me feel good, having to spend hours to keep up my appearance is exhausting. Recently, I got sick of it, and I've been searching for ways to cure my disorder. I've read that I can't be cured, but I had to at least try. During my free time, which I rarely have, I browsed for solutions to my problem. All the websites I searched yielded me no results. That is, except for one. I noticed it in one of those promoted ad links. I don't remember the exact address, but I do remember what it said, and that was, "Are you looking for help to deal with your mental affliction? Check out our website to learn more." It sounded generic as hell, but seeing as how none of the other websites got me my desired results, I decided to check it out. I was expecting another ad to pop up, one that was probably for some type of medicine, or a 10-step therapy plan that I'd probably end up paying thousands of dollars for. Instead, I was met with bold text that said, "The Cure-All." The background it was on showed multiple families playing, like the ones you see in medicine commercials. You know, the ones that look like they're having a wonderful time, while the narrator for the commercial quickly lists off all the potential hazardous side effects. Listed beneath the title in bulletin points were the names of various conditions in alphabetical order. Hovering over them with my cursor revealed hyperlinks to other pages. I scrolled down until I found mine. Clicking on it took me to a page that said, "Cure your OCD with these easy steps." I rolled my eyes at the page's title. This was probably going to show me some pseudo-scientific cure, one where I'd have to drink a certain tea made from 12 different herbs, or do some kind of weird exercise. Nonetheless, I scrolled down to see what sort of cure it would give me anyway. There was just one step. All it said was to find things to peel. This could be anything ranging from dried glue to stickers, to dead skin even. It instructed to start peeling if I ever feel my compulsions come on. Needless to say, I was skeptical that this could cure my condition. Still, it wasn't something that was difficult to do. The only drawback I saw was feeling silly if it didn't work. I happened to have a bottle of glue lying around, which I grabbed, then put 4 drops from it onto a plate. All I had to do now was wait for it to dry. I ended up forgetting about it until the following day. It was early in the morning, a few hours before work, and I was trying to get my hair just right. Unfortunately, I ran out of the special gel I use, so I had to go downstairs to see if I happened to have another bottle lying around. That was when I noticed the plate. The glue on it had dried completely. I remembered what the page had said, and since my compulsion was seriously acting up then, I grabbed the plate and began peeling off the pieces of the dried glue. To my surprise, the feeling that had been burdening my mind for hours vanished. Words cannot describe how freeing it felt. Like I had spent years in prison and was finally free. The website's advice worked like a charm. Each time I felt a compulsion come on, I'd just peel a few strips of glue, and it would go away. It worked great, until a week ago. I was having one of those days where nothing went right. It rained, ruining my hair. Rude customers took up so much time with their complaints, the store fell behind schedule. And to top it all off, I tripped during my walk and scraped my knees. I admit, that last one was my fault. I should have stayed inside. But I had run in the rain before without having anything happen to me. I picked myself up, then muttered a few curse words to myself while heading home. I just wanted to put the entire day behind me. I didn't even eat. I just showered, brushed my teeth, and headed straight to bed. Unfortunately, I had forgotten to squirt the glue drops onto the plate, something I would do each night, so that I could peel them the following morning to soothe my compulsions. I scolded myself for letting it slip my mind. And that morning, my OCD was particularly bad, probably brought on by the stress of the previous day. I began looking for something else I could peel. The only other peelable things I had was bananas. As you can guess, peeling them didn't help. Plus, I wasted some perfectly good food. I began to think that I would just have to deal with my usual urges. Then I got an idea. I peeled away the band-aids I used to cover my knee scrapes. Peeling away the band-aids soothed me some. But what I did next put me in pure ecstasy. I sat on one of my kitchen chairs and began picking at my scabs. The satisfaction I got from peeling them away was addicting. Problem was, I wouldn't always have scabs to peel away. Or would I? My eyes fell on the kitchen knives. I used one of them to make several deep cuts along my leg. When I was finished, I tended to my cuts with some hydrogen peroxide, then covered them in band-aids. If you think I ended up developing some sort of masochistic cutting habit, you'd be half right. I did develop a habit of cutting myself, but the cutting itself is not what I drew pleasure from. The scab peeling is. The habit started small, but soon I made cuts all over my body just to peel them when they healed. However, I ended up going another step farther. I got back from the hospital last night. I was put in there for a large wound in my leg and blood loss. This happened due to incredible stupidity on my part, in addition to the stupidity I had that made me start this habit in the first place. I got yet another one of my ideas, and that was, what if I tried peeling away some of my own skin? I tried this in my bathtub. I sat there with my sharpest knife. I had to mentally prepare myself for what I was about to do. I started on the outside of my leg. I figured that peeling off a little skin wouldn't be too serious. I pressed the point of the knife into my leg, then dragged down. I'm sure I don't need to tell you how painful it was. I nearly passed out from the pain, but I was able to push through. I ended up peeling off a sizable chunk of my leg's skin. It was so painful yet so pleasurable. So I cut away more, and more, and more. Soon my leg was covered in red. I was losing a lot more blood than I thought. That was when I realized I cut too deep. I accidentally hit an artery, making blood squirt out of my leg. Instantly, panic flooded my mind. Fortunately, I was able to calm myself down. The reason being I had prepared for this. I made sure I had a first aid kit on standby, just in case something went wrong. I was able to stop the bleeding, then call an ambulance. Of course, they asked me how I got my injuries in the first place, and since I couldn't think of any believable lies, I told them the truth. They immediately scheduled me for a psychological evaluation. It's tomorrow. I'm sitting here in the hospital, typing this on my phone. Thankfully, I remembered it, and asked one of the paramedics to grab it and my charger. I'm terrified they'll have me committed. I've heard stories of those places, of the abuse patients are put through. I do not want to end up there. I realize now that the website didn't cure me. It just made me switch from one habit to another. So to reiterate, can any of you help me? I need to figure out a way to convince them I'm not crazy. Then again, I've had the urge to peel for a while now. The hospital won't let me near any sharp objects. Maybe I do need help. I just don't want it from people who abuse their patients. So, what should I do?